And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Cousins to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To the air, Allen. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on them, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They go play action here on first down. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over. Now,
meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And a shot taken on 3rd down. Unsuccessful. 4th down now. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And a nice gain of 21. You have to be a little is to not play too much zone.
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Cousins now to throw on first down. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary.
And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Oh, what a move. Oh, now he bowls him over, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers, to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping. That goes for a gain of 31.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
McCoy. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LeSean McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. But I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left.
Allen, and he's got his man. It's the tight end play. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Bills' passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Allen, and he'll check this one down to McCoy. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When a linebacker is able to sit at the 2nd level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Play action. Now it's Allen. And this is brought in by Pryor. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He'll get it up the middle. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
From the gun, it's Allen. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. And complete, right side to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Again, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Now the Bills will take another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Cousins again. Eluding the pressure right. It's caught at the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain of 39 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and it's 3rd and 4. They'll come out in the pistol. Throwing is Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed.
Super toe.
Detroit! Detroit!
On play action, Allen dances by him. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. There he goes right side. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give to McCoy. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. On the ground, it's Cook. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you watched a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. 1st down. Here's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Rolling to his right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Wallace. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Throwing on first down is Allen. This complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Detroit! Detroit!
On play action, Allen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And again, it's Allen. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is fourth down.
Detroit! Detroit!
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, here's Cousins. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in the game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books. But now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Flush to his right. Now he's going to send this one deep. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Allen. Going long here for Wallace. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well, as we are back and underway for the second half. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff Spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Jones. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Allen off the play fake. Pryor has it complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 15 yards that time and a Buffalo 1st.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Sheldon Richardson busting through to get him for a loss of 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And out now come the Vikings. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Muscles him off. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. 84 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Gone! Detroit!
Allen looks to throw on second down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Finding room inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a rookie and was off to a terrific start. In fact, if you ask people in the Minnesota Vikings organization, they were giddy at the fact that they were able to get him outside of the first round and plug him into the lineup. They expect him to be big time in this season.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Room here to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And they got the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. This gives to McCoy. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Allen now looks to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Sherrills to return it. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Lucky 50. Lucky 50.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. First down, here's the run with Cook. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 34. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's Taiwan Jones on the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Bills getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Allen. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Here's Sherrills. Oh, another one. That looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And his guys are going to have a 1st and goal down at the 3-yard line. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. To throw, Cousins. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll run for it. This is Murray. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And here come the Bills. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. You gave the stat early on that he's one of just 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards last year, and then you said they needed to bottle him up for under 100 yards. He's way under 100 yards.
Bottom line, he's had virtually no success whatsoever.
And because of that, among a couple other reasons, they're down on the scoreboard. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. The Bills on 3rd down. They're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Colton Schmidt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Cook able to escape. That's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Cook following the penalty. A beautiful spin and room to run. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Murray. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.